Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to unpack a technological shift that's poised to redefine, well, pretty much everything. We're talking about the exact moment quantum computing went from being this far-off sci-fi dream to something that's right around the corner. You've probably heard this for years, right? That someday a totally new kind of computer would come along and make our current devices, our phones, our laptops, look like ancient relics, kind of like comparing an iPhone to an abacus. And for the longest time, that promise of computing on atoms themselves was, well, just a promise. It was stuck in this theoretical limbo, you know? Always just around the corner, always this cool but super far-off idea you'd read about in science fiction. But then, something happened. On December 9th, 2025, everything changed. A breakthrough just flipped a switch, and suddenly that distant future became our immediate reality. It was the day the theoretical became, well, inevitable.
Okay, so to really get this, we need to back up a little bit and understand the problem. I mean, why do we even need a new kind of computer? What's wrong with the ones we have?
All right, so for more than half a century, our whole world has basically been running on one simple rule: Moore's Law. It's this incredible, reliable prediction that computer power would double about every 18 months. Think about it. That's the engine that built Silicon Valley. That's what powers our entire modern economy. We've just gotten used to it.
But here's the thing. That amazing ride is coming to an end. That relentless, predictable progress we've counted on, it's hitting a hard physical wall. The exponential curve is flattening out, and that, my friends, has some seriously massive implications for all of us. And here's why. We literally cannot shrink transistors any smaller. We're at the point where they're only about 5 atoms wide. And at that scale, things get weird. The electrons, the very things we use to compute, just start hopping across barriers where they aren't supposed to go. This causes short circuits, and poof, Moore's Law is over. The digital age is hitting a fundamental limit of physics.
So how do you get past a wall like that? Well, you don't. You go around it with a completely new idea. Instead of fighting the weirdness of quantum physics, we're going to embrace it. It's time to stop computing on tiny switches and start computing on the building blocks of reality itself, atoms.
Okay, check this out. This is the key difference. On the left, you've got your standard digital bit. It's like a light switch, right? It's either on or it's off, a 1 or a 0. Simple. But then look at the right. That's a quantum bit, or a qubit. Thanks to this wild quantum principle called superposition, it's not just on or off, it can be on, off, and both at the exact same time.
I know, it sounds totally impossible. How can something be in two states at once? It breaks our everyday intuition. But that's the bizarre reality of quantum physics. And this very weirdness is what gives these new computers their almost unimaginable power. Because a qubit can be a 0 and a 1. It can explore a huge number of possibilities all at the same time, which is a massive shortcut for certain types of problems. So, what does this actually mean for us? What kind of doors does this new power actually unlock? Well, it turns out it could help us solve some of the biggest, gnarliest challenges humanity has ever faced.
Think about it. The really big problems, like creating new medicines, finding materials that can contain fusion, or finally curing diseases like Alzheimer's, they're all problems of molecules. And molecules are quantum systems. Our digital computers, which think in ones and zeros, are terrible at simulating them. They're just too complex. But a quantum computer, it speaks their language. It's designed to model reality at that fundamental molecular level.
And here's where it gets both incredibly exciting and, frankly, a little scary. Take a national security code, the kind of encryption that protects global banking, government secrets, pretty much all of our data. A digital supercomputer might take hundreds of years to crack it. A powerful quantum computer could, in theory, do it almost instantly. That's the kind of disruptive power we're talking about.
So for a long time, all this amazing potential was just that, potential. It was trapped because the hardware just wasn't there yet. The whole field was just inching along, making tiny little bits of progress. And then, one announcement came along and blew the whole thing wide open.
Let's put this in perspective. For almost a decade, the big players, Google, IBM, they were basically stuck. I mean, they went from about 53 qubits to just over 106 years. That's not a sprint, it's a crawl. At that pace, truly useful quantum computing was still way off in the future.
And then, out of nowhere, this Dutch company called Quantware announces something that just completely shocks the industry: a 10,000 qubit processor. I mean, that's not just another step. That's a 100 times leap in power in one single jump. This is the kind of breakthrough that takes something from a science experiment and turns it into an engineered reality, like overnight.
Now, what's so important here is that they didn't just, cram more qubits onto a flat chip. That was the old way. They figured out a whole new 3D architecture. So instead of building a huge, sprawling one-story building, they built a skyscraper. And that design is the secret sauce. It solves the massive headache of how you connect all those qubits so they can actually talk to each other and work together. They didn't just build a bigger processor, they cracked the code on how to scale these things up.
Okay, but hold on, because the story gets even bigger. This incredible breakthrough isn't happening in a vacuum. Nope, it's about to collide with the other technology that's completely reshaping our world right now.
That's right. Quantware is teaming up with NVIDIA, the leader in AI, to merge these two powerhouse technologies. Just try to imagine this. You take the insane problem-solving power of a 10,000 qubit processor and you combine it with the world's most advanced AI platform. This isn't just about building a faster quantum computer anymore. We're talking about a brand new hybrid system where quantum and AI are working hand in hand.
And look, this isn't some 20-year plan we're talking about. Look at this timeline. This is happening at a breathtaking speed. We're talking industrial-scale factories for these chips opening in 2026, and by 2028, the projection is that these incredibly powerful systems will start to go mainstream. This is moving fast.
I think the CEO of Quantware put it perfectly. This isn't lab science anymore. It's commercial reality. That's the big takeaway. It means quantum computing is officially moving out of the laboratory, out of the realm of scientific curiosity, and into the real world as a tool that's going to completely reshape entire industries. It's becoming economically relevant.
So, think about what happens when you put all of this together. You have an AI that can reason. You have a quantum computer that can solve problems we once thought were impossible. And you have robotics that can take those solutions and act on them in the real world. When all of that is running on one single platform, the pace of change itself just goes exponential. We are stepping into a brand new era, and the one thing that's for sure is that it's coming a whole lot faster than any of us were ready for. The question is, are you?